My Lord Creon, sir, if I can hardly speak for lack of breath, it's not 'cause I ran. I kept on stopping, as a matter of fact, half a dozen times, and I hung about as much as I dared. I haven't thought about anything so much for a long time. Listen, don't hurry, I said to myself. The chances are, poor sod, you'll cop it when you get there. But then I said to myself, you see, hang about, I said, or rather, don't. Because if Crayon hears this from somebody else, you're really in trouble. So I hurried here as slow as I could, going round and round in circles in my head as well as with my feet. It's funny how long a mile can take you when you're thinking what I was thinking. However, duty called in the end, and I reckoned it would be safer to face it out. It may be unimportant, but I've come here, so now I'll tell you. If I'm punished for it, the gods will be behind it, that's for sure, so I wouldn't have escaped it anyway. Well, first of all, sir, myself, like, my own point of view, I never done it, and I didn't see who else done it either, so I shouldn't be punished for it, should I? It is bad news, sir, and I'm so scared I don't know how to put it for the best. Straight out with it, then. The body's buried. Someone or other, a handful of dust. That's all, dry dust, but properly sprinkled, you know, religiously, and then gone, whoever it was. No way of knowing, sir. We've no idea. There had been no digging, no spade marks, or nothing. The ground's rock hard. No wheel tracks either, from a chariot or cart or anything. In fact, no clues of any kind at all. Nothing to tell you who might have done it. When the sentry taking the early turn discovered what had happened and reported back, we were all shattered and scared stiff. It was as though the body had disappeared. Not buried in a proper grave, I don't mean, but lightly covered with a layer of earth, almost as though some passing stranger with a religious turn of mind, knowing that being left unburied means everlasting anguish and wandering without rest, had scattered a few handfuls. There was no tracks of animals either, not of dogs or anything, who might have gnawed at it, and covered it over with their front legs like they do a bone. A real row started then, I can tell you. We shouted at each other, and it could have been a fight. There was no one there to stop us. Any one of us could have done it. We all suspected each other, but we all denied it, and there was no evidence to prove one man guilty rather than another. So we all dared each other to swear, to go through fire and water, to hold red-hot pokers in our hands and call all the gods as witnesses that we hadn't done it, and didn't know anyone who had, or would even think of it, let alone do it. And none of any of it got us nowhere. Then one of the fellers had his say, and he scared us all shitless. I can tell you, he said, and we knew he was dead right. There was no way out of it. We had to do it and take our chances, this feller said. One of us lot must tell the king, because we can't just hide it, can we? That's what he said, and we knew he was right. So we decided we had to draw lots. And just my luck, I drew the short straw. So here I am. And I don't like telling it one little bit more than you like hearing it. The bloke who brings the bad news never gets a medal. Am I allowed to speak, sir? Well, it can't be earache, can it, sir? Not what I said. It must stick in your gullet, or further down, maybe a sort of pain in the conscience. Me, sir? No, sir. I might give you earache. I can see that. I talk too much. Always have done. But the other pain, the heartburn as it were, it's the criminal causing that, sir, not me. Maybe not, but I didn't bury the body. Not guilty to that, sir. I think it's a shame, sir, that an intelligent man and as well educated as you are should miss the point so completely. Let's hope they find him, whoever he is. But one thing I'm sure of, they won't find me. I never thought I'd get out of here, alive, and when I do get out, nothing will bring me back again. I've had an amazing stroke of luck, and I won't chance my arm a second time. Exit Soldier. Lord Creon, I reckon it's always unwise to swear oaths and make promises, even to yourself. Second thoughts, 9 times out of 10 will have their say and end up by calling you a liar. It's no time at all, since I promised myself I wouldn't be seen dead here again. You were that angry with me the last time. A right mouthful you gave me, more than enough. Thanks very much, but you can't beat a real turn-up for the book, can you? There's nothing more enjoyable than a good win when you're expecting a tousing. So here I am, again as the comic said, and my promise is not worth the air they were spoken with. This girl's your criminal. We caught her doing it, actually setting the grave to rights. I brought her here, and there was no panic. This time, I can tell you, no recriminations or drawing lots. This job was all mine. I caught her, and I claimed the credit for it. And now she's all yours. Take her and accuse her, stone her to death, if you like. By rights, I'm free to go, and we'll shot of all of it. She was burying him. What else is there to say? Sir, she was burying the body. I saw her. The body you ordered not to be buried. I can't speak plainer than that. Well, gentlemen, it was like this. As soon as I got back, remembering all those threats or promises you made me, we brushed all the earth off the naked body, which was all wet and beginning to decay by now, and we sat up on the ridge. Well, to the windward of the stink, we all kept a sharp eye on each other, ready to nudge anyone who dropped off, and tear him off a strip too. For hours we sat there, till about midday. The sun was smack overhead, blazing down, and the heat was something terrible, I can tell you. And then it was as though a whirlwind blew up, definitely a twister it was, but localized, like, and it raised up a dust storm which swept across the plain, tore all the leaves off the trees, blotted out the whole sky, and completely blinded us. It seemed like some terrible manifestation of the gods, and you had to shut your eyes to endure it all. Then, suddenly, it stopped, and when the air cleared, we opened our eyes, and saw this girl standing there beside the grave, and sort of wailing as though she were in pain, or maybe anger, just like a bird who comes back to the nest and finds the egg smashed, or the fledglings gone. That's what it sounded like. She was standing there, looking at the naked body and screaming and cursing the monsters who had done such a thing. Us, of course, and then she crouched down and picked up a few handfuls of the dry dust and scattered it on him. She carried an urn, a small ceremonial bronze thing, and she poured from it 3 times on the dead body, honey and wine and stuff in it, I suppose, all the proper ritual for a funeral anyway. Soon as we saw that, we came charging down and arrested her on the spot. She wasn't frightened or anything. She stood her ground, so then we formally charged her with the crime. This, and the one before. She admitted she had done them both, and we were relieved to hear that, I can tell you, but sorry, too. At the same time, it's very nice to get out of the trouble yourself. Not so nice when you drop someone else up to the neck in it. Someone you've got no quarrel with, but still, your own life comes first, I reckon. You have to look after number one. End scene.